So today I want to break down how to actually script your Instagram ads. We're talking specifically profile visit ads on Instagram, where we run these as stories on our feed just to get people to come and follow us, to become nurtured by our content, and then eventually sign on as a client or a customer. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to script your ads, and you can get started doing that today. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So how to script our Instagram ads. Before we start, ads are not something that you're going to simply do because you're not making money in your business. Most people think because they're struggling, they can just run ads and start getting more clients or get more leads. But that's not actually how it works. And what I mean by this is you want to make sure before ever trying to run ads, you have a good offer and you have good messaging. It doesn't have to be perfect, or it doesn't even have to be super dialed in, but you have to have at least a good idea of what that should look like. What the ads actually do for your business and the way they help, ads are meant to amplify things. So if you're already having a good offer and good messaging, it's going to just throw more fuel on the already made fire that you have. So therefore, your offer and your messaging, if they're bad, you're typically just going to be throwing money at something that isn't good, and that's where you're going to start wasting the money. There's 3 things you need to take care of before you actually start running ads. The first thing is your offer. The second thing is going to be your messaging, and then the last part is going to be the budget, right? You don't need a big, huge budget to start, but at least $20 a day. So you need about $600, and you want to start off with $600 to $1,000, somewhere in between there. Now, one thing I will say is that with your budget, when you first start running ads, your first $500 are pretty much just going to be for testing. The algorithm is pretty good at what it does, and it will get you in front of the people that you need to be in front of, but it takes time for it to learn exactly who you need to be in front of. So that learning, that takes time, and it can run you about $500 just to test. So keep that in mind. I'm also doing, I have another video where I break down even further what the offer, what the messaging is, so that way you have a better idea. And that video is just how to get ready to run the ads. So make sure you look out for that one. Now, do not run ads for the following reasons. Don't just run ads for leads. Ads are just fuel to the fire. It amplifies things. So if you don't really have much of a fire, or if you have a bad fire, then it's not going to make the fire burn bigger and brighter. The second thing is that these ads are not for testing your offer. You can run ads with a new offer, but the point is not that you're testing the offer. Your offer should already be something that you've done for somebody. If you've done it for yourself and for others, then you've already tested the offer. What we're actually testing here is the messaging. That's the reason for trying different ad creatives, because we're trying to see what is going to resonate most with the ideal prospects that we're looking for. You've already sold a home, you've already partnered with wholesalers and investors to do deals, you've already raised private money, and you've already gotten results in investing, and you're teaching students. That's been settled. So now how do we actually speak to them so that they actually want our offer? The third thing is ads don't get new clients or customers. All the ads are doing is putting more attention on your offer and your messaging. So the better it is, the more attention you're going to have. So if you put out a bad offer and you have bad messaging, the ads aren't going to work. It's just that simple. So now let's jump into the actual scripting. When people think of ads, they start to get a little bit nervous because, one, they don't really understand it, and it just seems very, very complicated. But this is not complicated. It's actually a very simple process, but most people get stuck in the analysis paralysis stage, and they start to overthink shit, and they want perfection. There is no magic script that works better than other scripts. So the first thing we want to do is we want to grab attention and we want to qualify. Do not speak to broke people. I'm not saying this to be, rude or offensive, but we are running a business here. We have services, we have products. We need to speak to people that actually have the money to buy that. So most people just grab attention, but they don't qualify the attention. You start attracting the wrong type of people. You've probably heard this ad script by now. And here's an example of something along the lines. If you're a realtor and you're doing $5,000 a month and you want to go to $20,000, here's how to do that. Now, you probably heard it so much by now that you're fucking sick of it, but hey, it actually works. The reason why it works is because it can qualify people. So if you run an ad saying, look, If you've been thinking about buying a home and you don't know how, follow me on Instagram so that you can learn how to get into your dream home. This doesn't qualify because now you're going to have people that may not even be ready for another 2 years because of credit issues or finance issues, but they have been thinking about it. So your ad did speak to them. That's why it's very important to actually qualify these people, and I hope this is starting to make sense. We also want to talk about the vision. You don't just need to speak about your prospect's current situation. If they're currently making $5,000, we don't need to say that sometimes. Instead, we want to paint the picture of what the future would look like for them. So, for example, when you're qualifying, you might say, hey, if you're this, but instead, you can just mention the outcome of where they want to be. What does the future vision look like for them? And qualify them that way. So here's some examples. Scaling your real estate business to $20K a month doesn't have to be difficult. That's qualifying people that are in real estate that are already thinking of scaling to $20,000 a month. Finding the home of your dreams doesn't have to be complicated. Finding wholesalers to bring you deals to partner with you is much easier than you think. This all works because it's where they want to go as opposed to you confirming where they currently are. The last part about this is do not be robotic. This is where a lot of people fuck up. Don't speak your script, don't sound like a robot, and don't make it even obvious that you're reading something and your eyes are following all along. Most people out there are running ads and they're doing just this. We notice. We can tell. We see your eyes moving and you're reading. So make sure that you're just naturally talking. I'm not saying don't script out your ads, but at least use the script as a reference. And if you have to run through filming it a few times to really get it down with what you want to say, do that instead of doing it 1 or 2 times and then trying to read word for word. Get the hook down and then just kind of start talking about it. Now, that was just for the first sentence of the ad. So now let's talk about the value next. With the value, all we're aiming for here is a follow. That's the point of this ad. We're not looking to, have them send us a message. We don't want them to come over here or do this and do that. We just want them to follow. That's the main objective. This is the top of the funnel where we're going to be attracting cold traffic. All we want the ad to do is bring us more followers so that we can show our content to them. Don't make it about the clients and don't make it about you. Most people start using this part to talk about their clients, saying things like, this is what we did for our client, or here's my proprietary system that we use inside the business, and all this does is talk about you, so don't be selfish. This part of the ad is to give away so much free information to where they should say to themselves, there's so much value here, there's just no reason not to follow this guy or girl. Give it all away for free and don't hold anything back. People are worried about mentioning their process because someone's going to steal it. Shock them with the amount of info that you're actually giving. Imagine if I said, damn, I don't want to give away the script framework for ads because then people are going to steal it and they're going to make better ads than me. This is giving you so much info that you're actually taking notes. You're loving every moment of it. I know. Because you actually see the value. I'm leaving you no option but to want to follow me and then see what else I have to offer that can change your business. Now, this is the framework of how it should look like. So think in terms of like 2 or 3 steps. 2 steps are a little bit simpler and it's quicker for somebody to get to the point, and then the ad is also going to be shorter. More than likely, someone's going to take the time to watch the whole thing. So for example, the hook, scaling your real estate business doesn't have to be hard. Here's the 2 steps on exactly how to scale. Another example is finding your dream home doesn't have to be difficult. Here's 3 steps you can take to start finding that dream home. Now, as a bonus, another thing you don't want to add in your ads, this is just profile business ads, you don't want to add client testimonials in your ads. These are top of funnel ads that are cold traffic, so these people do not know you yet. You want to give them value and then just have them follow you. Client testimonials are used to sell something and no one wants to be sold from a stranger. The testimonials work better for the middle of the funnel, which would be a retargeting ad once they become a follower and more familiar with you. So let me show you exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to funnel, just in case you're not familiar. So this is the full funnel right here. Let me zoom out a little bit. This is everything that we're doing to get our leads through the door, follow us, get nurtured, and then, eventually get them on the close. So in the middle of it is our retargeting ads, our actual content on Instagram and YouTube, and then call to actions that we use in stories, things like that. So this is really where the client testimonials, the case studies, that works better because now they're more familiar with you. They know what to expect. They know what you do. and they're okay with being sold by you. Up here, this is our profile visit ads. It's cold. This is the first step into the funnel. So we don't want to mention that here, so we're not selling people. So just keep that in mind when you're scripting your ads. Now, the last part is you want to have a call to action, right? We're just going to make a light ask. We're not trying to do anything salesy. We're not leading them to go watch a 20-minute video sales letter, not asking them to book a call, and we're not asking them to fill out a form. We just simply want them to follow us. So here's some of the examples that you can use for a call to action. Shoot me a follow here on Instagram and go through my past content. If you want to learn more about the 2-3-step framework that you talked about in the value part, shoot me a follow and binge my past content. And the last part, the last example is shoot me a follow to learn more about the 2-3-step framework or outcomes that you mentioned. Now, how long should these ads actually be? Your ad should be under 60 seconds. Ideally, you want to actually keep it under 45. If it's any longer than 60, try to save that for a short form piece of content or into like a 5-minute YouTube video that you can dive a little bit deeper into and post that. You want to give enough information so that you actually pique their interest, but any longer than that, you're going to lose them because they don't know you yet, so they're not willing to give you the time. The second reason for keeping it short is because you want people to actually see the call to action at the end. If it's too long, they're not going to see that it's just a very light ask, and they're not going to see it at all, and they're not going to follow. So that is the top of funnel ad scripting training. I like to keep shit simple. Don't complicate it. Besides the value that I gave you here in this video, I would actually like to give you more value. So once you have your ads scripted out, you can send it to me in my DM on Instagram. I would actually like to go over it before you take the time to record it. I know it takes time to record these things, and especially before you run it so you don't waste the money. So happy scripting. I look forward to seeing some of you guys in your ads. And if you're not already, subscribe to my channel and subscribe to my Instagram.